Rise and shine, it's a brand new day. Ken can take the stage, ready to play. Weekdays at 10, the cars in the scene. Coffee in hand, they're living the dream. Aggression in the voice, got the whole town awake. Bringing fire to the mic, make no mistake. Shows in the corner, spitting out facts. Dropping truth bombs, ain't holding back. Ken in the morning, feel the heat. From 10 a.m. CST, can take a seat. Live and loud, that break in the mind. Light up your speakers, crank up the sound. They're talking about life upside down. Opinions exploded like a sonic blast. In the studio, they're built to last. With passion and grit, they engage and ignite. Every single week, they're all force can't fight. From sports to politics,
This is a Huddle Sports Network broadcast. You can find us on Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, Facebook, and of course YouTube. Get all your NFL news here first.
Good morning. Welcome to another edition of Ken in the morning. Like Ken's already snickering. You know what? I'm gonna wait for Joe to come on before I say some other things, but I want to say this because Fred's here, and Fred will get this. So our good old friends at the Villain Squad think that Larry Borom is the savior of the offensive line in Detroit. Yes, they signed Larry Borom away from the Miami Dolphins, who got him from whoever got him after we got rid of him. And he is going to save their offensive line with his versatility and great play, because you're not a Pro Bowler for nothing, even though you're like the fifth alternate that went because no one else wanted to go. Yes, Larry Borom is now a Detroit Lion, and my God, their offensive line is fixed, according to some of their fans. Now, look, before I go any further, and JB gets mad at me, not JB. JB's like, what the hell, man? Yeah, Ken, it was funny. I don't comment much on people's Facebook, but I saw that yesterday where it's like, oh, we got Larry Borom. We're so awesome.
Hold on. To be fair, I got to give a little bit of credit here to Lions fans, because there's a lot of Minnesota Vikings fans that feel the exact same way you do about your guys' new center with the guy you're talking about for the Lions.
For the Vikings?
Yeah, he wasn't he originally a Viking before he was a Patriot?
Yeah. I mean, I know he's a step down from Drew Dahlman.
It's just the usual offseason-ness of fans. Like you said yesterday, it doesn't really matter. All fan bases are going to say the exact same thing.
I mean, I just thought it was funny. These guys were talking like Larry Borom was God's gift to offensive linemen after they signed him. I was like, guys, he's on like his fourth team because everyone gets rid of him because he's trash. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. Yeah, he just played for my team, and we could not wait for him to be gone. And then the second team he went to, could not wait for him to be gone. And the Dolphins, who had such a great offensive line, were so hot to try to retain him for their new quarterback that they got from Green Bay yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, hold on, but before we get into anything else, let me roll out the red carpet, and you better get that offseason trophy that you guys have had year after year after year and hand that shit to fucking Joe. Because holy fuck, the Raiders have assembled themselves a team. Joe, this might be the first year we don't get to bust on you for being a Raiders fan.
So before Joe gets to speak, let me tell you what they did yesterday. First off, they got the guy that Joe's been like having wet dreams about for the last 3 weeks, Tyler Linderbaum, on a record-setting deal, which we knew would be record-setting. Then they go get Quay Walker. Okay. Then they get Nakobe Dean. I like that. Then they go get Jalen Naylor away from the Vikings. I know some Viking fans are mad about that. Kwity Paye, Eric Stokes, re-signed Malcolm Koonce, and then they got Teron at the corner, and I don't think they're done yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, Joe, I got one quick question before you kick off your victory tour here. Did Big Spooky Ghost stop by your house yesterday?
So it's funny that you mentioned that because You messaged me when they got Linderbaum. I had just come back from jiu-jitsu, right? And like that was already enough to generate some ectoplasm. But then um but
Oh
then
no,
all of a sudden,
you should
they get into Kobe Dean and Quay Walker within like an hour of each other, dude, like a half hour. It's like they got both of them. And I was like, so we're actually using fucking linebackers now? Like, holy shit. Splurge. So
Yeah, he was
yeah, dude, it was like
splurging all over the comment section.
yeah, dude. And then we got Jalen Naylor, and I was like, oh, we got a speed guy that can catch. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I'm cool with that. But the only thing that could top this whole thing off, I want him to go get Reek Woolen today. Because I think pairing him with Eric Stokes would be a decent starting cornerback
Hold
tandem.
on. We just released Nate Hobbs. You can go and get him back since he actually worked well for you guys. That's not even
he's a slot. No, he's a slot. We just signed Taron Johnson from the Bills to be our slot.
I didn't realize you had him.
Look, I've been watching Blue Mountain State. You guys take the proper way. He's a flute. Sorry, bad joke.
Yep.
If you watch Blue Mountain State, you know the Thad Castle joke there. He's a sleuth. Anywho.
Yeah, I was surprised that you guys gave up on Hobbs so fast. He just kept insisting on playing him on the outside, and I tried to tell you.
No. We tried playing him as a corner, and he did so bad as a slot corner that
really?
Oh yeah, that we pulled him out after one quarter and said you're done.
Now, one other quick piece of news though, because there's a lot of it to get through this morning. The Bears and the Falcons are both upset at the NFL right now because I guess the Rooney Rule is dead, guys. The Rooney Rule no longer exists because you take a minority assistant general manager, make him a general manager, and I guess he doesn't count as a general manager because Matty Ice is the president of football operations, like every other team has the president of football operations. But because it's Matty Ice, the Bears don't get compensation picks. I mean, when both teams come out and say, yeah, they should get compensation picks, and the NFL gives no compensation picks, I guess the Rooney Rule is dead. That's going to be some controversy. It's going to stir between now and the draft. Why the NFL did not award the Chicago Bears for Ian Cunningham, leaving as the assistant GM to become the GM, the general manager, who makes all the football decisions as far as who gets signed and who doesn't, and reports to a president of football operations like every other GM does. But I guess because it's Ian Cunningham, he's black, it doesn't matter. So the Rooney Rule goes away. I don't know what to make of it, but even, and this is rare, Caleb Williams was posting about this on his X and IG. Players usually don't post about this crap. But this is how people in the NFL believe that this ruling by the NFL is when both teams and players are like, dude, this is obvious. Well, and the like, well, no, because you've got Matty Ice there as the president of football operations. He doesn't count as the GM.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Caleb Williams benefits if they get the trade compensation, so I can see why he's saying something.
The Atlanta Falcons don't. Even the Atlanta Falcons agree
now that one I think holds a hell of a lot more credence to it.
Players don't normally talk about this shit, though. The fact that he is I mean, and obviously he benefits if they get draft picks. Duh. Thank you, Captain Obvious. But the fact that wasn't the fact. That's the point I was making. The point I was making is that even players are talking about this, which never happened.
But can I say this as a friend? This is venturing into that other side of the aisle territory where you might just want to just eat this one and just be like, you know what? Well, fuck it. Like,
no, I mean, it's like at the end of the day, you're right, Joe. We're gonna have to put it in the hip pocket because the NFL is going to be stupid about it. And when the NFL does something else stupid, like, look, no, I mean, that was just kind of out there that the Bears didn't get the third round compensation pick for Ian Cunningham, who, by the way, made a pretty swift move in signing Tua Tagovailoa within 4 or 5 hours of him being released to be the backup quarterback / maybe the starter for Atlanta.
Oh, I'm thinking it's the starter.
Yeah, he's going to be the league minimum. I mean, he just didn't last long. And it's funny because Kyler Murray's still out there, and everyone just assumes he's going to the Vikings. Yet he's still there. There's some other big names still out there, which I know Broski's going to want to talk about here in a minute, especially a certain edge rusher, maybe from Cincinnati might be on his
You
mind.
know, Ken, you brought up the perfect segue for that. Because what I was laughing my ass off at the beginning of the show about was that very specific edge rusher from Cincinnati. He is in talks with several teams, but is unwilling to come off his asking price between 30 and 40 million. No team is interested in meeting him at those demands. This guy is going to be so stupid, he's going to price himself out of a contract.
Bro,
Yeah, I mean, look. I mean, Khalil Mack get 18 mil for 1 year is pretty good, and I'd say he's got better production than Trey Hendrickson last year, who is also coming off an injury. So you got a guy who's on the plus side of 30, 31 would be 32, on a season-ending injury. I mean, dude, you're going to get 10 mil, maybe 15. No, Khalil Mack just got 18 and played almost the whole year and put up double-digit sacks again. Trey Hendrickson didn't do that.
Okay, but Trey Hendrickson also the 2 years before that led the league both years.
yeah, and
had 17.
Khalil Mack is 30, and Khalil Mack is 35. Khalil Mack is 35 or 36. Trey Hendrickson's 31. So I get where he's coming from, like, but his number is just unrealistic.
Yeah, and you don't pay for what they've done.
You pay for what they're going to do. Yeah.
And that should tell you if teams aren't willing to even give him anywhere close to that, they don't think he's got that anymore. I mean,
I think if Khalil Mack got 18, I think 20 is reasonable for his age.
I was just thinking the same thing. I was just thinking the same thing, Joe.
And he probably wants multi-year big money, and teams are like, okay, we'll give you multi-year, but
yeah, you need to accept at this point, Trey, like you're a year-by-year player, just like Khalil Mack.
Or it's not going to be guaranteed after year one.
Yeah.
Which, speaking of guarantees, as we segue again, Malik Willis broke today. His contract, 2 years fully guaranteed. Dolphins are like saying, yeah, he's at the bridge.
Yeah, and I am thoroughly shocked by it because we even heard me yesterday saying I didn't expect the Dolphins to be players at all in free agency, except for like bottom tier bargain type of guys. They came out and said, no, we're getting our quarterback going forward. Now I just hope that they can put some kind of line with him so we don't see Malik get beat up.
And they trusted Larry Borum so much with their new prized possession, they didn't re-sign him.
You know, it's to me, I don't know, maybe others will disagree, but to me, it's a smart move for the Dolphins because, like, I know that they're going to be absolutely terrible this year, but that's why they gave him 2 years guaranteed. Is like they're not coming in expecting him to take them to the playoffs this year. It's like, but they also didn't commit a long-term, like 5-year deal right off the bat. It's like, okay, you had some success in Green Bay. Let's see if you can replicate that here. We're going to give you 2 years, right? Like, we're going to give you decent money, not great money. And so to me, it's a smart wait and see approach. It's kind of like he's got a 2-year prove it deal instead of a 1-year prove it deal.
And because Ken wanted to get ahead of me, yes, this was the other big news. Mike Evans, after we said, every year with Tampa, with Evans and these guys, they flirt, and they come back, and he bolts for the Niners. Of all teams, I didn't expect the Niners. I mean, I know the Niners were a possibility, but I'm like, the Niners, the way they are financially, and they've been shedding some stuff, I really didn't see. In a weird way, in the back of my head, I was seeing the Bears making a silly play at them, or like Green Bay, or like someone like that.
I would have been all over it. But Ken, let me say it's a good thing you're not a betting man, because with how you were talking with Mike Evans going to be there, that sure sounded like that was as close to a bet as possible.
Because
I get you. I totally get why you were saying that. But like I was saying, I was hearing it from different sources that never talked about it before, and it just had that feeling going into it. And holy shit, I didn't expect the Niners either. I expected them to leave, but not the Niners.
And then was Tampa Bay. They kept Cade Otton. Love that kid. Great tight end. And then they got Anzalone, who we thought maybe might go to the Bears. The Bears get Devin Bush instead.
Yeah,
which
but
I
they
like
lost
Devin
Mike
Bush
Evans.
before.
They lost Jamel Dean. Like they lost some players, man.
But the funny thing with Anzalone, so you know why Anzalone signed with Tampa? He lives in Tampa and didn't want to leave home.
This makes sense.
Sounds smart.
Dude, look at how good, what a power move in a way. It's like, yeah, I just don't want to leave home anymore. Are you going to sign me? Well, if Tampa didn't sign him, was he going to retire? I mean, that's what it almost sounds like. Either sign me or retire. Okay, we'll sign you then. Okay. I mean, I thought that was funny on a side note that Anzalone's like, yeah, I'm going to sign with Tampa just because I live here. I don't care if Detroit offers me money. I just don't want to leave home anymore.
Bro, there's something to be said.
You're at a point in your career where the money doesn't really matter as much. You just want to play.
There's something to be said for being able to roll out of bed, ravage some buns, and then go to practice. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and hey, you know,
I don't know. It always makes me happier at work, you know, like.
Mm-hmm.
KC.
Oh yeah, nothing beats the morning.
Hey, Kansas City making some improvements to that offense yesterday, getting a running
Kenneth
back.
Walker.
Yeah.
But they lost their entire secondary, though.
Yeah. Wait. You mean the Rams got their entire secondary?
Yeah, the Rams bought their entire secondary. Oh.
Speaking of secondaries, Green Bay finally woke up and decided that, hey, we should probably go out and grab a corner finally. They went and took the corner from the Chargers there.
Yeah, they got him late.
Yeah, that St. Just, or however the hell you pronounce his name.
Yeah. Hey, so I got to ask this. Are Packers fans completely shitting on Quay Walker now and acting like he was a terrible player?
Dude, you're fucking hearing it like fucking crazy from some of these fucking fans. I have no idea how the hell they sit there and trash Quay like that. Now, will I agree that Quay was terrible in coverage? Absolutely. But he was outstanding in the run game. And that's where Quay is really going to shine. And what also isn't brought up about him is he is an excellent blitzer. You got yourself a guy.
Uncle Rico has moved. Uncle Rico is now going to be with Mad Yinzer and be a Pittsburgh Steeler.
And they got Michael Pittman, too.
Yeah.
Which is interesting.
And they extended him the second they got him.
Yeah.
Think about that though. So now they got DK and Michael Pittman
and all three of those tight ends.
And they got Rico Dowdle. Like all of a sudden Pittsburgh's offense is starting to look somewhat competent.
I was going to say their offense shit, as long as they have a decent quarterback in there, looks awesome.
Hey, Carolina went out and got Jalen Phillips and Devin Lloyd yesterday. I mean, Carolina's like saying, okay, we're going to be a playoff contender, and we're going to compete for this division. Watch out for Carolina this year. And then
I like the Devin Lloyd signing. I think the Jalen Phillips signing, I think they overpaid, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, but before I get to that, Fred, okay, never mind. I guess I'm going to that now. We're going to go to this now. Yeah, the Bears got Black Mamba. A different Kobe Bryant. But no, you know what? I mean, yeah, I can see why you'd be bummed. I was a little surprised at first because, dude, he's the only safety on contract now. It makes you wonder what else the Bears are planning. Obviously, they're not playing what a lot of people thought they were planning because Byard's still out there.
Brisker's still out there.
Lonnie B is still out there. So that was interesting. Tremaine Edmonds, by the way, signed with the Giants yesterday for a pretty nice little deal. Not worth nearly as much as what he was getting with the Bears. And, it's a good signing for him because Tremaine Edmonds is worth the $32 million over 3 years they're paying for him.
Mm-hmm.
But then we went out and got Devin Bush, who was cheaper and younger, and actually played some good ball. I think Broski might be happy with Devin Bush at middle linebacker. The Bears yesterday, not too splashy, just solid players, that are going to make the team better, but no big splashes, which is kind of what I expect.
Yeah. Sorry, guys, I had to go on mute for a while. I had to take an urgent call, but yeah, talking about the Bears, They made, like you said, they didn't make any real splashy moves, but they did make some good mid-tier moves. They spread their money accordingly and filled some holes. Devin Bush, yeah, like he's a fast, athletic guy who makes plays on defense. He was the leading tackler for the Browns last year. I think he had 3 interceptions and he caused, maybe 3 or 4 more fumbles. And he's going to start. He's obviously going to be a starter. I like the DeMarco Jackson re-signing too, because you notice, especially in that Packers playoff game, man, when he came in the second half, that's what like rejuvenated the whole defense, like him flying around like a maniac making plays. So I'm happy with that. That was it didn't cost a lot, but that's a quality signing. They signed a rotational, nose tackle. They signed, who else did they sign? Oh, the safety, Kobe Bryant, which means Byard and Brisker are both gone. They're probably like I was touching on yesterday. Honestly, they're probably going to fill that other starting safety spot with a high draft pick.
But your favorite tackle is back, as I predicted.
Oh God. Okay, Ken. So Ken, when that happened, I thought of you, and I was like, I'm so upset, and Ken's probably so happy, but I'm like, dude, I didn't feel good about that. Like,
I'm happy I'm right, but I'm not ecstatic because look, is he going to be the starter? Probably not.
Well,
it's probably going to.
I'm not going to beat it up. Yeah, I'm not. Here's the thing. My thoughts on the guy, right? So, but here's my concern. This is all I'm going to say. I'm just going to let it go, right? He's had a neck injury. He's had 2 knee injuries. He's had an ankle injury. He's had a concussion. He missed 11 games last year. He missed 5 games the year before. He missed 6 games the year before that. My fear is like he gets injured in OTAs or camp, and then the Bears are scrambling to find that starting left tackle right before the season. And
honestly, look, we keep forgetting we've got another guy there, and look, he doesn't have to. We don't know what the progress of Trapio is. Obviously, only the team and his doctors know. But like for $10 million, good rotational guy. Someone would have signed him for about the same money.
It's 10 mil. Yeah, it's 10 mil with what do you call it? Like
5 mil.
Yeah, exactly. It's like a 5 mil base or something.
So I like the way they structured the deal for 5 mil. On the face value, I wasn't like, now if they paid him more than that, even I would have been like, well, wait a second. I'm not so certain about that. But I thought that was kind of funny. I thought of you the second day, Simon. So, there's another guy. So far, I'm right out of 3 out of the 4 that you said would be gone. The only one I was wrong on was Edmonds. But Edmonds, I understand, though, made sense because of his contract.
Brisker's gone.
Well,
Brisker's not coming back.
We didn't talk about that as much last year. We figured, we'll see how the season goes. And by the end of the season, we all figured, he should probably get a contract. But he could still come back because no one signed him yet.
But they're going to fill that other safety spot with I believe a draft pick. You know what I mean?
3 more safeties that they didn't put on this roster.
Yeah.
One might come to the draft, and I don't think they're. Look, yesterday was day 1. Teams aren't done. The Bears still have money. They haven't even done restructures yet and done magic money stuff.
They haven't cut all their guys yet either. Like they're still gonna cut players. Like they still haven't cut everyone because
they might still be. Well, they're cap compliant, so right now they don't have to cut anyone until the end of camp. So now you're at the point where you don't have to be cap compliant as much. So the cutting is going to kind of once we hit Wednesday. Right.
Oh no! I think they're going to have to cut some guys though before that, just to be able to sign draft picks. Though, doing some quick math. I got to see official contract numbers.
Broski, they don't. That's what I'm telling you. Is they don't because Wednesday when the new league year starts, you have to be cap compliant. The next time you have to be cap compliant is the end of camp.
Yeah, which means honestly they might be cutting some guys today or tomorrow, then. But we'll see. But regardless.
Yeah, right now
Bears moves.
Right now they're under about like 8 mil or whatever. But as long as they're cap compliant come Wednesday, we'll see if they have to, if they're going to have to do anything with that. The other thing that was big yesterday,
But to go back to what you said, you were like, I'm right at 3 out of 4. No, I mean, I said they were getting rid of DJ Moore, and they got rid of DJ Moore. They got rid of Tremaine Edmonds. So, I mean, hey, they're gone. I'm still not sold Swift's going to be on the team either. But for the Bears, like
right now, with the 3 guys that when we started the year last year, you said would be gone. 2 are there, 1 is gone. So we'll see what happens. The other thing that was kind of it wasn't huge.
Oh, I also said DJ Moore and Montez Sweat could both be traded or cut.
Move on, bros. We're moving on. That's what I'm trying to do here. But go out and get Travis Etienne, which actually now is like, well, what's up with Alvin Kamara? They get Etienne yesterday, which of course he had been with his quarterback for 8 years, so there's a little bit of a breakup there. But what are the Saints going to do now? And I wish Hoss was on this morning, because there's another guy, Alvin Kamara, who's like the heart and soul kind of that team. What's his status now that Etienne is there? And is it to me, or is it just amazing the Saints keep finding money to spend?
Hold on. Well, yes, but the Saints aren't just adding. There is major talks that they might be trading Chris Olave to the Patriots right now. Oof. Like this looks real close to getting done.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That I'm hearing a whole bunch of chatter on that right now.
Damn.
Okay, so it makes sense from like Saints fans that I was reading comments on, all saying that like, yeah, we're drafting like multiple wide receivers this draft. That would kind of make sense then.
Mm-hmm.
I just think the fact that they can still make a move like that is just like, dude, where do you guys get the money? Is it buried in the bayou somewhere?
I think the salary cap does not mean shit, and when teams got to come compliant, they just sit there with a pen. Okay, what's the number? Okay, we hit that number. Here you go.
Yeah, like there's no auditing process or anything.
Mm-hmm.
Seriously.
So after all that money that the Raiders spent yesterday, the Raiders actually still have like $45 or $50 million in cap space available.
Well, that's the other weird thing, Joe.
Time to get no line.
No, thank you for saying that, Joe, because that was the other thing. You hear these contract numbers, and you're trying to do the cap calculations in your head. But here's the problem: when they sign a guy for $10 million, or Khalil Mack $18 million, that's not $18 million off the cap.
Mm-hmm.
Because by the time the contract is actually official and done, it's like it's weird. It's like $8 million off the cap. Like, where'd the other $10 million go? Well, it was this, it was that, it was the other. It doesn't count against the cap. And this is where Mike the Bear fan has a valid point. $1 spent should be $1 against the cap. But you can spend $18 million on a guy and only have 10 of it count against the cap. It's like, well, wait a minute. I mean,
at this point, just get rid of the cap.
Yeah. Well,
and Ken, you know what I've been noticing is like a trend for a trend that these GMs do a lot lately. So like they'll structure, the deal, whatever, 3-4 year deal, 5-year deal. They'll literally just have like one of those years or 2 of those years where it's like all the dead cap is like in that year. It's insane. Like you'll just like the dead cap will be like $10 million more than what his cap hit is for the season. It's wild.
Linderbaum's contract is a great example. This year's cap hit's only $10 million.
Yeah, but actually, so here's the Raiders. Let me just throw this out there, because people were kind of shitting on that Linderbaum deal, saying, why would you pay a center $27 million a year, right? Like, there's 2 things about that. Number one, the Raiders are required to spend 90% of their cash because it goes in 3-year increments. And at the end of this year is the end of that increment. And the Raiders were like $250 million or $300 million short on that spending. So it's money that either they're going to spend it on players or they're going to have to give it to the players anyway, and they get nothing for it. So the Raiders are just handing out cash at this point because they can. Number 2, the way the Raiders structured that contract, I think is actually smart. Like they gave him a 20, so he got, it's basically 81 million. And they gave him like a $20 million signing bonus. And then his 2028 or 2027 salary kicks in, or his 2028 salary kicks in automatically on like the 4th day of the league year next year in 2027. So by the time it's time to extend Bowers and Genty, all his money is off the books.
Yeah. I mean,
Like they kind of backloaded it in a sense for this year for his cap hit, but they actually really front loaded it to where it's like, you know, they gave him a huge bonus. They guaranteed certain things that trigger like right away. It's going to come off the books like soon. So it was actually, in my opinion, it was a smart move. And I don't know how they structured the other contracts, but
I mean, look at these contracts. Like I said, these guys they've cracked the nut for the most part. Some GMs sometimes flub it up, you know. And then where these GMs really flub it up is that opportunity guy. Like, ooh, we're gonna get over the top. We're gonna go get them, and they throw their own stuff out of whack, out of like an impulse buy that may be good for the team today, but is gonna hurt them for 3 years. And sometimes it's calculated. They do it that way, but for the most part, these guys have cracked the nut. I mean, last couple of years, how does New Orleans have money? And they go out and they spend yesterday. You're like, how the hell are they spending? You look at some of these teams that were so negative in cap, and you're like, how are they spending? How is Miami spending when they're so negative cap after?
Yeah.
And these guys are carrying over 100 million in dead cap, like 150, 200 million in dead cap. Hey, Uncle Rico's fan is here today. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a jag off.
hey,
And Uncle Rico is going to be joining him now.
I also wanted to throw out there, like, so we on this show just last week, we were praising the Max Crosby trade, right? Saying that the Raiders it was amazing that they got 2 first-round picks when nobody thought they were going to, right? Originally, the Raiders were asking for 2 first-round picks and a player, right? But if you look at that Max Crosby trade now in context, so they got the 2 firsts for Max. They shed his contract, which was $30 million a year, to the Ravens, which made the Ravens unable to re-sign Linderbaum, and then the Raiders turned around and used that $30 million in cap to sign Linderbaum. So essentially, they got 2 first-round picks and Linderbaum for Max Crosby.
And that was being tossed around NFL Network and all the other networks yesterday too. But you know what else too is they took getting rid of Max Crosby to sign a bunch of guys. Like they went out with all the cap space they created. They get Linderbaum. They get a bunch of other defensive pieces. I think their defense is now better than it was last week with Max, because sometimes you have to get rid of a big contract to get a bunch of guys that actually makes you better as a whole. Great, you had a great edge rusher, but you had nothing else to speak of. You had Chin, maybe 1 or 2 other guys, but now you've got a more complete defense that's actually going to do better.
Yeah, I'm curious what you think.
They got 3 new linebackers. They got 3 new starting linebackers and a starting nickelback, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
They got a lot
did they get 3 linebackers? They got Jacoby Dean and Quay Walker.
I thought they got. Let me check. I thought they got a third guy.
They got Kwity Paye.
Not out there. He's under contract. He's not a free agent. Sorry, but I saw an article today about Packer fans. They had to be troll. Packer fans wanting Fields to hold the clipboard for love.
No, for a backup, absolutely. That's going around the fan base, and I'm actually not against it. If LaFleur can turn them around, awesome. If not, we got somebody that can run. I was going to say, if not, we got somebody that can run the ball real well.
They'd have to trade for him, and he's a $20 million backup. So I don't know.
I wouldn't be surprised if the Jets end up releasing him. I don't see them paying him $20 million either.
Well, right now
the Raiders signed that Kwity Paye guy at linebacker. Joe, is that what you said?
No, he's a defense. Well, as far as I know, he's a defensive end. He played for the Colts.
He's an outside linebacker because they run a 3-4.
Is he an outside linebacker?
Yeah.
I think the Raiders are talking about switching to a 3-4, so he'll probably be an outside linebacker. But I don't know.
You know, Isaiah Likely went to the Giants. Been making some moves. Like Isaiah Likely was a good ad for them, by the way. We saw that yesterday. They were making some moves. I mean, look, there were a lot of teams. I think almost every team did something.
But I'm curious what you think, Broski, about what do you think about getting Quay Walker and Nakobe Dean for their linebacking core, dude? On the same day.
I think they needed to do something like that, to tell you the truth. I don't think you had trackers on your team. I don't think you had guys who could just, like, you know what I mean, like track down running backs and take on a block and make a tackle.
Guys.
Yeah. Huh?
Yeah. I'm
Oh,
juiced about
breaking
it.
news, guys! Breaking news.
Oh
We
boy.
have a Schefter tweet. The Bills, and
Hefty.
Pro Bowl tight end Dawson Knox have agreed on a new 3-year contract.
What?
Dawson Knox and the Bills have agreed on a brand new 3-year deal.
I hope it's at a lower rate than what they were already paying him.
I didn't know he was a Pro Bowler.
I like Dawson
He was
Knox,
at one
man.
point.
I mean, I like him and all too, but Kincaid is clearing away the best tight end on their roster.
No,
But there's
I mean,
nothing wrong with having two good tight ends on your
that's what I'm
roster.
saying, Joe, it makes sense. I mean, he had that really bad injury year, and then Kincaid came on the scene, and so Knox's workload became less. But dude, Knox made some plays last year. Like, he's actually a little bit, it's a little kind of like low key. Like, okay, no one's paying attention because Kincaid here. It's in a weird way, kind of like Cole Kmet to Colston Loveland. Loveland's getting all my big plays. Look at this guy, but Kmet made some big plays last year too. So there's nothing wrong with having Dawson Knox under contract for another 3 years. He's a quality tight end.
To me, it just depends on the price point.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but they didn't release the price point yet.
They're probably not paying him. They're probably not going to pay him Dalton Kincaid money. Like,
Yeah, he's not getting,
you know?
not getting like.
No, they were already paying him a good fucking clip.
yeah, I
Like,
know.
He was a cut candidate for that reason.
Yeah, I'm sure that they probably worked out a lower number then for it to make it a 3-year deal. And to answer that question of how do the Bills keep coming up with this money, it's because they're moving bricks for Chapo and they just bought a bunch of laundry mats.
No doubt.
They're washing cash, bro. Like,
Oh, the Vikings re-signed their long snapper.
ooh, it's a needle mover.
Did you guys talk about the Panthers yet?
Yeah, we did. That's what Joe was asking about.
Yeah, I was gonna say we touched on it.
Yeah, Devin Lloyd was a good signing, but I think they overpaid for Jalen Phillips, honestly.
Big time. Yeah,
You know.
I mean, a single sack guy, $120 million contract. Yeah, he
Former
had 5
Giants
sacks last year. He had 1 a year before.
Former from Tom Pelissero, the guy who doesn't have to move that far. Giant safety Dan Belton is signing a 1-year, $4 million deal with the Jets, with basically a maximum up to $6 million with incentive. So the guy is going to play in the same stadium, just with a different team. Carolina is bringing back defensive end LeBrian Ray and cornerback Robert Rochelle. That's from Rappaport this morning, about an hour ago. And really, that's all that's new since the last night.
I'm wondering what's going on in the Kyler sweepstakes, man. Like, it's been awfully quiet. Like, they've been saying the Vikings, and then but nothing seems to be happening.
And it's league minimum. Like, he's gonna get the league minimum like Tua did, because why? You don't have to pay the guy more. He's gonna make however many millions of dollars from Arizona. So he's a league minimum now. Unless maybe it's a situation where it's like, no, man, you're not getting me for league minimum. I want at least 5 or 10 from you. Maybe it's something like that. That could be the only reason I could see why he hasn't been signed. Because, dude, like, you're going to sign your backup quarterback for $4 or $5 million. You get this kid for like 1.5, 1.7, whatever the league minimum is. I mean, dude, that's less than your backup.
Mm-hmm.
So how is Kyler Murray not signed to someone yet? I agree with you.
I think Tyler's taking his time to make the decision. I think he's going to visit a handful of teams.
Makes sense. Because his career is really on the line at this point. Like, this is kind of his last shot at being a starter. So I could see why he would want to make a smart decision. But I think the Vikings is actually the best decision for him. I think he could have real success there with having JJ and Hawk and Well,
let's not forget the Steelers, because we don't know if Aaron's coming back, and they don't have a quarterback. Well, they do, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? And there's, look, you got Kirk O'Chains out there, you got Kyler Murray out there. I don't think Cousins would go back to Minnesota on a league minimum, but dude, he might be willing to go to Pittsburgh on a league minimum.
A rumor I heard about Murray was the Rams are a real possibility for him. Like, he would sit behind Stafford this year and then kind of just take over, like take the reins after Stafford's last season.
Do you like
That
the
would be
Baker
interesting.
Mayfield thing? I mean, it's kind of like doing the Baker Mayfield thing, right? Behind Stafford for a year, and then, I mean, look, if it works, right?
Yeah.
They do have an interim GM there, Fred. I can't remember his name. I heard it yesterday. They do have an interim GM making the calls, but they're not going to hire a GM until after the draft. Go figure. But now that the Rooney Rule no longer seems to exist, I guess they can just, if this guy does a good job, maybe they'll just hire their interim. I don't know. Today's going to obviously slow down. Yesterday was the big flash day, and by about 3 hours in, it kind of slowed down. It is amazing some of the guys that are still out there. There's still some good talent out there, and guys that we thought might get signed pretty quick that have not. And you know who else is out there? Who I could see like the Bears, I don't think are done. Cam Jordan's out there. Like, he might go for a decently cheap price. He might be a good guy to bring on a contending team. There's a couple good guys out there who might be worth taking a look at.
Yeah, I'm surprised nobody's signed Reek Woolen yet.
Oh no! As soon as I say an article just dropped, Steelers interested in Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, Cam Jordan's interesting to me. I mean, the guy's going to be.
Go ahead, Broski.
I was going to say Cam Jordan's interesting to me because he showed last year, man. It still looks like he's got something left in the tank. Like, he has something to offer out there. It cracks me up. He actually has white dreads, like they go like long dreads that go like halfway down his back. So, I mean, that's how old he is. But honestly, man, it's kind of like, dude, if he can still play, he can still play. And if he was like a rotational DN, let's say like him and Booker were like splitting time at that other DN spot, I mean, that could be a pretty good little combination, good rotation there, you know?
Yeah, I don't think he's going to go to the Bears, but I mean, like, if he did, I wouldn't be upset.
Jens just said not only no, but fuck no to Kirk Cousins. Oh, you don't like Kirko? Come on. You don't want to pay him $50 million?
No, you don't have to.
Kirko needs his $50 million from somewhere, man. Like,
you don't have to pay him $50 million. He's getting his money from the freaking. Is he still under? Yeah, he's still getting money from. No way, he's not. He's not out of guarantee. Is he out of guaranteed money?
I think he's out.
Yeah, maybe you are gonna have to pay him. Yeah, like, dude, Fred. Yeah, Cam Jordan there. I mean, Cam Jordan's gonna get a contract somewhere, and he's gonna be value added to someone. You just can't overpay for him. I mean, but yeah, he's like Khalil Mack. Guy doesn't age. Like Cam Jordan, Khalil Mack. Just, I don't blame either of those guys. They're both producing still.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean,
especially if you're not expecting him to come in and just be a full-time starter. If you like.
Right.
Use him as a good rotational player. Keep him fresh.
Is Rodgers going to retire? Is he not get to do another ayahuasca visit before he decides?
Damn.
Over. Hey, you know, actually, there's another wrinkle I want to throw in with these quarterbacks. Because the Bears did sign a quarterback yesterday.
Yep.
Very low key, but they kept Case Keenum. And the interesting thing on Case Keenum, here's the thing. It was reported about a week or two ago that the Bears didn't necessarily want to sign him as a quarterback, but as a coach. So they re-signed him to a $5.5 million deal, 2-year deal. So it wasn't like it was a 1-year deal. No. They gave him a 2-year deal. Now Tyson Bagent's going to be entering. Well, he did an extension last year, so he's got 2 years left on his. Was it an extension or was it a straight-up contract, Broski? Do you remember? I thought it was an extension. Well, either way, they're spending $5 million this year on Bagent, but Bagent's been linked in a lot of trade rumors. But Keenum, they wanted to keep him as a coach, but they signed him as a player. So now there's a lot of still trade rumors going on with Bagent. Yinzer, what would you feel about the Steelers trading for Tyson Bagent?
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of trade rumors about Bagent. And yes, I think they want to keep Case on the roster more of a coach capacity, even though he's a player. He will be 40 years old if he does play his. He finishes those 2 years on his contract.
The age thing is different with quarterbacks. 40 seems to be the norm now. It really does. Look at these old ass quarterbacks still sitting around the league getting contracts, and they're in their upper 30s, almost 40, or even past 40 in some cases. For a backup, being 40 isn't end of days, right? Like you would think, like if you were a running back or something. But it is interesting. They want to keep him as a coach, and they signed him as a player. Really? Oh yeah, and then Kyle Allen went back. So now it's back to Allen and Allen because Mitch Trubisky signed. Where did Mitch Trubisky go? He signed.
Titans. He went to the Titans.
He went to the Titans. He's their backup. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I think it's Will Howard time in Pittsburgh, though.
Yeah,
I think Will Howard's taking the reins in the Steel City.
So, but Mitchell Trubisky, he went over to the Titans because who's the head coach for the Titans? Brian Dable, right? Is he the head coach or he's the offensive coordinator?
He's offensive coordinator.
He's the offensive coordinator for the Titans.
Yeah.
And so, like, Mitch, he was there with Mitch in Buffalo. Like,
no, I think it's a good move for Mitch. I mean, because Dable's there. I agree with you, Joe. It's a good move for Mitch because Mitch went right. Like after the year he did in Pittsburgh, he went right back to Buffalo. Why? Because they liked him. He liked them. And it was a good fit, and Dable was still there. And now it makes sense that he's going to Dable. And you saw a couple players following coaches yesterday, right? I mean, look at how many Ravens are now in the Giants, right? You've seen some of that happening. That was a good move. And look, I think the Bills going and getting Kyle Allen to be a backup again, to back up Allen. Good move for them. He's familiar. It's a good move. I mean, there were some smaller moves like that yesterday where they didn't really jump. When they did the Schefter tweet, it didn't like jump at the screen at you, but you're like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. There were a lot of moves like that yesterday. Now, none as impactful as Larry Borum to the Lions, though.
How many players did the Ravens lose in free agency yesterday? Like impact players.
The Lions?
No, the Ravens.
Oh, the Ravens? They lost a lot.
Didn't Mafe play for them?
They lost like 5 guys yesterday.
They lost Mafe, and then they lost they lost Linderbaum. I know they lost another key defensive player too.
I don't know if DJ Moore got robbed for his contract money being traded to Buffalo. He's guaranteed money this year.
Yeah, how did he lose money?
Yeah, Bill, you need to explain that because his contract's guaranteed out for the most part. So,
and I mean,
DJ Moore is
lucked out.
For the 2 interesting facts about DJ Moore. First, last year was his first winning season as a professional. Secondly, he has been paid. He has had a guaranteed contract every year of his career to date so far, and will for the next 2 years. So, what's he in the league now? This is year 11 for him. No, year 8, 9, whatever it is. Anyways, he's been guaranteed. Like he's had guaranteed contracts coming in every year. I mean that's DJ Moore, man. Low key winning free agency, man. The dude's had guaranteed money his whole career.
And think about this. Like he lucked out going from one playoff team to another playoff team. Like
this time, yeah. It was a good move for both teams. I mean, the Bills really need the receiver. The Bears could afford to give him up. I think Jahadi Walker is going to be penciled in as the 3 right now, as the guy that great value for the Bears, who's an undrafted free agent rookie. So you got 3 young guys in your receiving core who can all do it. Kind of made sense.
You guys lost Zacchaeus too, though, didn't you?
Yeah, Zacchaeus. I mean, that's love-hate. Whereas he made some really big catches, he'd still be running, and he not drop that ball against the Commanders. He had some big drops though too. So he was one of those guys. Like if you kept him, you weren't mad, but when he left, you weren't mad either. You were probably fine either way. I'm saying, didn't Chicago have more have more money on his contract. No, he didn't get offered money from Buffalo, dude. The contract.
No, they're
goes
taking on the contract that the Bears
goes on
had
the
with him.
contract. Yeah, he doesn't lose money by getting traded.
Yeah, no, he gets the same money.
Yeah,
The-
it's the same money.
The Bills just assume the responsibility for the contract.
Right.
So he's
Now
he's doing well.
They can restructure and stuff like that, but
Yeah, even restructure's not losing money though. He's
no,
just getting more money up front. He'll get a fatter bonus, or he'll get
no. So DJ didn't lose any money. And that move benefited both teams. I mean, basically got a second round pick for him. So
which you could turn around and which you could turn into another receiver on a rookie contract if you wanted to.
Yep. Yeah, the Bears are fine there. You want Will Howard to start there, okay? Still some
You and
questions
Broski both.
Look, there's some questions that need to be filled on some of these teams. I mean, the Bears still need to sign some more safeties, maybe 2 more if they're going to do what Broski said and take one in the draft. Which 4 picks in the top 100 is very likely or plausible.
Oh, you know what? I just wanted to point this out because I think it's hilarious. Dylan Gabriel is getting cut by the Cleveland Browns, but Shador is still on the team.
Yeah, well,
They're cutting Dylan Gabriel. Wow.
They're cutting Dylan Gabriel after 1 year. They're moving on already. I saw it yesterday.
I knew that guy was a waste of a pick.
They're going to keep Shaduki.
Man, telling you.
See, but once again, yesterday proved this is why you don't do mock drafts before free agency. The boards have changed for so many teams so drastically.
Yep.
You know, and for the Bears, I know Bears fans are like, I think Bears fans are happy with Kobe Bryant. I think Bears fans are happy with Devin Bush. The defensive tackle we got, mixed bag maybe on that. Offensively, we don't have to do anything. They re-signed a guy that Broski's not too happy with. I'm like ambivalent. I'm like, okay, I kind of felt they would keep him. They did. I don't know if that's going to be the answer. We'll see what happens in the draft because the Bears could just draft a left tackle right off the gate too. I mean, that's always there too. For the Bears, for me, I still don't have an answer on the edge. I still need safety help, but there's still time. The Packers, I don't know what they did yesterday. They got a linebacker. They lost more than they gained. They got more work they're going to do. The Vikings going to have some more work they're going to do. They got to replace a receiver now. The Lions, well, they got Larry Borum, so they're set. And I don't think the Raiders are done yet. I think the Raiders are going to pick up some more people because they still got a lot of money to spend.
I want Reek Woolen, man. I think him and Stokes would be a decent corner tandem, you know, because they're both tall, long corners, like, and they're both pretty fast.
Well, I'm waiting to see what kind of Kamara, like signings come with other issues. What's up with Alvin Kamara? Is he going to be available for someone to pick up cheap? And would you want to pick up Alvin Kamara? Is he still that kind of guy that you'd want on your roster if he's free and available?
I wouldn't want him. I don't know.
As a third down back? I'll take him as a third down back.
He still rushed for 1,000 yards last year. So I was about to say I wouldn't want him as a starter, but maybe not a workhorse back, but I'd still take him in a featured role.
Change of pace back?
Yep.
It would have to depend on the money for Kamara, but that becomes interesting.
Don't you put that on me?
Uh-oh, what happened?
Don't you put that evil on me? He said Dylan Gabriel to the Raiders. The fuck out of here.
Kamara to the Panthers. Oh.
Yeah. Well, they just lost Rico. I mean, that would make sense.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, that does make sense, but you're like, ooh, because in the division.
Yeah, but then you still have Chuba Hubbard too, like, so. Ooh, Kamara to the Seahawks? That would be interesting. Or maybe Detroit. He replaces Monty in Detroit.
Yeah. I don't know. I think Detroit's going to go away from a two-back system. I mean, otherwise, why do you get rid of Monty?
I don't think.
I think
they,
they're going with a rookie running back.
I don't think they can go away from a two-back system. I don't think Gibbs can handle 25 carries a game over the course of a season. Like he's better in smaller. I don't want to say smaller doses. Like it's just he's a smaller guy, you know. Like he's not a big bruiser of a running back.
Mhm.
So for me, you get more volume out of him if he's like at that 12 to 15 carries, you know, like yeah, I'm good, dude.
I'm just wondering. Also last night that was late for the Patriots. They got Vera Tucker from the Jets
Yeah.
yesterday. I thought that was a good pickup for them. Yeah, I mean, some interesting moves yesterday. Oh, yes, Travis Kelce signed another deal to stay with Kansas City. We can't forget that. Yeah, yesterday a lot of movement. We didn't even cover all of it. I know we tried to get some of the bigger pieces. But man, there was a lot of movement yesterday. This morning's actually been kind of quiet. There really, minus the Dawson Knox re-signing, there hasn't been anything, which kind of makes sense. After the first 3 to 5 hours, now they're going to trickle in. I'm wondering if we're going to see some of these other guys come off the board today that didn't come off the board. That people, I'd also like to predict that Quinn Ewers will end up starting for the Dolphins by Game 5. Interesting.
Wow. So you think just Willis is just not going to make it, huh?
Dude, they guaranteed 2 years of Wilson's contract, so I don't know. I don't know.
I think he would have to be playing historically bad for them to bench him by Game 5 with what they're paying him.
Yeah, the Swifties are still going to be in Kansas City.
But I will also say, I think the Dolphins, I'm not going to say they have the chance to be historically bad, but they're going to be terrible. Like, does anybody disagree? Like, I think the Dolphins are going to be terrible this year.
Look, they got a quarterback that can deal. He can deal. I've seen him deal against the Bears. He can deal. He was a really good backup. We'll see how he is as a starter. Can he be a starter? If he can be a decent starter, they got weapons. Defensively, they might be terrible right now looking at them, but they still got some. They still got Achane. They still got Waddle. They still got some guys that can ball. They're going to get some guys in the draft. I don't think they're going to be historically bad.
Yeah, I didn't say that they were. I said that, but I think they're going to be pretty bad. Like, I don't
think they'll be equally competitive, but still bad.
What about, because who do they have running their offense? I know Hafley is their head coach, but who's running their offense?
Oh, I can't remember who their OC is off the top of my head. I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember off the top of my head.
So are you okay with Mount? Okay, so Bill's been asking this over and over and over again. Are you happy that Malik is gone?
No, I'm definitely not happy. I mean, it sucks, but hey, the guy, yeah, we got it. You got to unfortunately face the reality of it. Malik Willis played good for us. He was gonna go. I would have loved to have kept him, but hey.
Who's your backup right now? You don't have a backup right now, right?
No, we got Ritter on the roster, but I don't know if we're sticking with him or not.
That's
Hey, how many?
because we're almost out of time. Let me say this real quick. This is gonna be key for Green Bay because Jordan Love the last couple seasons has not played full season. You're gonna see the Green Bay backup possibly 1 to 3 games this year. So whoever they get as backup is going to matter. And with that bad take, we're out of time. And JB is next. Maybe he'll get some signings. Joe, congratulations on winning the day yesterday. What a great day for you guys. It's not done yet. Let's see if we have a new home for Kyle Murray before we start tomorrow. And we'll
Give
see
me
if
him
Mr.
as the
Munch
backup.
Reek Woolen, you're a Raider.
And
Let's
let's
go,
see
baby.
if Mr. I want $40 million a year gets signed by anyone today. Until then, guys, enjoy your Tuesday. We'll see y'all in the morning.
Not a chance.